Hi guys, we're back. This week is a short week, but we're still going to do another PowerPoint. This week we're going to do a PowerPoint on the difference between weather and climate. Lots of people like to use those words interchangeably, but they're actually quite different. And by the end of the week, you're going to be able to tell me the difference between weather and climate. So let's go over a few of those comparisons. So you can see here I did a Venn diagram. We use a Venn diagram, this graphic organizer, to compare and contrast, which is to look at the things that make them similar and the things that make them different. So in the middle of our Venn diagram, you can see that for both weather and climate, we are talking about things like the air temperature, so the temperature around us. We're talking about precipitation. Remember from learning about the water cycle, precipitation is things like rain, snow, hail, sleet. Okay, so precipitation, we're talking about humidity. Humidity is the water vapor in the air. In more tropical climates, there is more humidity. And in an arid climate, it's much more dry, not as much humidity, not as much water vapor in the air. We're talking about wind speed and wind direction. So these are things that meteorologists, those scientists that tell us what the weather's like, they look at these things to give us a prediction on what the weather will be day to day. Now, when we talk about the difference between weather and climate, weather is talking about what we're experiencing with these things on a day-to-day basis, okay? And they can usually give us a prediction about a week out on what we can expect. So when we compare, we can see the difference, the biggest difference between weather and climate is time. So weather is something that is measured over a short period of time, and climate, the data is collected over a longer period of time, usually 30 plus years. So with weather, they are measuring the day-to-day changes with these things. Those are changes in our atmosphere. And then with climate, they are the state of the atmosphere over looking for patterns over 30 years or more. Now with weather, it's reported as a forecast. So if you watch the news, they do a weather forecast every evening, usually telling us about the next day's weather, what we can expect. This is how we decide what to wear, what activities we can do outside. And it's reported as a forecast, where with climate, it's reported more as an average. So if we talk about the climate here in Washington, we have different climates. If you remember in the fall, we learned about the 5 regions of Washington state. Where we live in the Columbia Plateau, we have more of a dry climate, where on the west side of the Cascade Mountains, we learned that it's very wet. They're near the ocean, and because of the Cascade Mountains, the clouds don't really get up and over, and so it is much more wet. They have a wetter climate on the west side of the state. So when we're talking weather, we're talking day-to-day changes, and when we're talking climate, we're talking those changes over many years, and we're looking for patterns. So if they have a pattern of lots of rain, so they're talking lots of inches of rainfall in an area, they can say that their climate's going to be more of a wet climate. So this week, you're going to be doing a PowerPoint on the difference between weather and climate and keeping track of those differences. And I threw in, and I think you'll be excited about this, I threw in one of the Generation Genius videos that we used to watch in school, so I know that you'll love that. It's a video on the difference between weather and climate, so you can use that this week too to support your claims. So your claim is going to be based on what is the difference between weather and climate. And after doing your research this week, you'll be able to answer that question with lots of good data and good evidence. So I hope you're doing well. Of course, we still miss you. We wish we could be in school, but this is as close as we can get, getting to see each other this way. And don't forget to join us on our class hangouts on Tuesday at 11 and Thursdays at 1, okay? So I'm going to sign off. Remember, you can find your assignments on Teams under our Science Social Studies class. Look for Science Social Studies 400. When you click on that, you're going to see your assignment. It's titled Weather and Climate. And I hope you have a great week. And if you have any questions, you can just shoot me a chat message. You can send me a message on Dojo, and stay safe. Talk to you guys soon. Miss you.